All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Just make sure that things are loaded up. All right. Let me get the chat going and we will get going. So, what an interesting night. You thought we would have done a little bit of rippy. Nope. We're doing channeling down, down channels. Man. I'm just looking at this NQ 4-hour chart. Big drop yesterday, right? I got some fib levels here that are pretty phenomenal. Just want to say good morning, everyone. I'm Darkpool Algo. Thanks for joining me on the stream. I'm a smart money Darkpool block trade algorithm analyst. I am a day trader. I trade stocks, options, crypto. I'll trade your mama's pocket change if you give it to me. I'm just kidding. It's Wu-Tang Wednesday. Let's go, baby. Yes, super excited about that. It is Wednesday. We look for reversals, right? Woo reversal Wednesdays. Lots of W's showing up. Lots of things happening here. Not sure who the first one's going to be to the stream this morning, but whoever comes in first gets a special shout out. My bet's going to be, it's either going to be Killer or Johnny, one of the two. So with that being said, we've got a lot of news to get through. There was tons of earnings yesterday, and we've got even more earnings today after the close. I mean, yeah, there's a ton of earnings. So let's see. There should only be one stream going. Let me just double check something here real quick, because usually somebody shows up by now. But if not, let's see what we got going on here. Cheers, son. Make sure everything got loaded correctly. Let me see. All right, yeah, it got loaded. Awesome sauce. Get this taken care of, and we will. Sorry, I got to turn on some settings here in YouTube, which I forgot. I wish I could default them, but I don't think I can. All right, there we go. Morning. All right, I'm not going to wait forever for people to show up. If they don't show up, then, oh well. Let's see, I need that guy. So GDX was the trade of the week yesterday. I'm glad I didn't take it. I would have lost so much money. How could they even in good conscience say that? All right, gold, however, GDX, 4-hour mid pop, right? 4-hour mid pop to 34.67. If gold continues to move up, okay. Look at that NQ move. All right, we're forming the old V-shaped bottom on our futures. Possible inverse head and shoulders across the board. Today could be a fun day. Unfortunately, yeah, I didn't get any sort of futures trades in. All right, here we go. All right, so if you're not here, you're not here. Whatever. Intel. We love Intel. All right, Intel is upgraded to market perform from underperformed by Raymond Jones. How are they going to move off that upgrade? V-shaped bottom, inverse head and shoulders. Long Intel above 45.50 for a move to 46, 46.75. And then there's a zone that's going to cause us a little problem up to the 4-hour top. Right, Intel to 48 in the next coming weeks. Might want to give it, if it breaks down below 45.11, right? We play down to the bottom cloud at 43.70. This isn't easy. This is a freebie. Morning, Johnny. You're here first. I see you. Looking at Intel, I got upgraded. Intel, dude, don't sleep on Intel today. Let me just draw this out for you. Boom. Something like this. Something like this, possibly. Two, three, four, five. screenshot that sucker for posterity. Contrarian, if we break down below that, then we're going to do one of these. These here. One of these to the downside. Something like this. Something along these lines. Ooh, if we break that weekly cloud, ooh, son. There's nothing holding us. We got untapped trading zones down here at 35, 36 for Intel. All right. Intel two ways. Somebody's going to ask about it, so I might as well screenshot it. I don't like the primaries being red and down, right? Our MACDs are pointed down, right? Our Celts are pointed up. Oh, I need to throw on... One second here. I think I want to go... Well, I think I'm good with that. All right. I love this new tables features in TradingView. I love it a lot. All right. So, doesn't look good. The market, I think it's gonna, it's, I wish I could screenshot this, but I can't. So, all right, remind me to do a couple, remind me to look at the NQ from the 15-minute kelp perspective, right? Oh, that's gorgeous. All right, so let's just get into it. Melly, where's my magic? Okay. Melly had earnings, Q4 earnings at a 92-cent loss versus $1 profit. How do they rip off of that? I don't get this. I don't. All right, so Melly came in. Their fourth quarter EPS estimate was at as a 92-cent loss. They actually came in. Excuse me. They estimated a 99-cent gain. They came in at a 92-cent loss. Net revenues $2.1 billion versus $2.0 billion. Gross merchandise volumes at $8 billion. We're up 32%. Right. So maybe that's what it is, or maybe it's just been beaten down so far that they couldn't bring it down any lower. I mean, it's got the monthly bottom down here, but I'm going to be shorting any rallies on this to the 21, right? So it's pretty much do or die time. 21 is where here. If it can't retake 1,000, then Melly's going to move even lower. Okay. PanW, I love PanW, right? Q2 adjusted EPS at 174 versus 164, but more importantly, it overtook its 200 and its 50, right? Big, gnarly gap and go moves setting up for this weekly mid for our top 50-day coming up. So PanW above 514, we hit 520, then 525, 530, and 540, okay? Any pullback to support is at 505, right? Below 505, we hit the 400 psychological level, right? There's probably going to be a little healthy pullback today, right? Some profit taking at the open, right? Just makes sense, right? Good earnings, profit taking. Look at this wick killer right here. 492.75 is support, possible move. 488, right? Would be a 382. So if we pull back to the 382, right? So from here, let me just show you what this looks like, because this is a good trade. Okay. All right. Let's assume they reject the weekly mid and we get profit taking at the open all the way back down to the 382, which is the 4-hour bottom. And then we make that move back up, right? Back up to 4-hour top, right? I think that move is extremely viable today, right? So profit taking pullback to the 382 retracement from this move here, right? From just this overnight move, brings us to the 4-hour bottom for support. Okay. Slingshot squeeze is getting ready to curl around and release, right? Double green on the lower time frames, right? Choppy here, but support ripper. I like it. Pan W, keep an eye on it. All right. Abby buying Roku. I got you, brother. Roku yesterday was the play, man. Yeah, this thing was gorgeous yesterday. Gnarly moves yesterday. All right, look at that divergence. Wow, how did we not spot this before then? Gap and go, gap and go. We still got gap and go room. Oh, let's look at Roku. Hold on. Oof, those are good ones. Nice calls. All right. That's Pan W. Space. Space, right? $9. It's a $9 stock. It's a SPAC. It's back to its SPAC zone, right? I believe in this company. So I'm going to be looking to divert some funds to get in this for the long term. I believe space travel is going to be extremely normalized by the time my son gets to be in his prime. And if I buy a bunch of shares now at $8 or $9, when commercial space travel starts to happen, when he becomes, married or whatever, he can dump those and have a nice wedding, right? Have a nice anniversary. So I'm looking to allocate some serious funds to this. That's personally Q4 estimate at a 31-cent loss versus a 35-cent loss. Revenue 141,000 versus 300,000. Conversion services remain on track for Q4 2022, and current fleet enhancement program on schedule to be completed third quarter of this year. Cash and cash equivalents, marketable securities, around 931 million as of the end of last year, right? Expected Q1 FCF at 85 million loss versus 75 million. All right. I like this setup. Okay. Depending on what happens today, there's a clearly defined wedge happening here, right? A very clearly defined inverse head and shoulders. And as a matter of fact, I've got this new Stream Deck thing. It's pretty sick, dude. That I can just push buttons and things start open. Like I would have known about this before. Oh Lord, look, check it. Let's see if I can get it up here. Right? I start pushing buttons and things start opening. That's the way I like to move. Right? Futu with the move. Okay. Ooh, this is tough. Because if this is an inverted head and shoulders, the move is now, right? Long above the neckline. A little bit of a wedge breakout. Wish I would have saw it 20 minutes ago. All right. I'm going to keep an eye on space. I do want to get some comments on that. It's trading at 816, closed at 782. It's up 40 cents right now. I need to just be patient on it. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna grab some of those for long term, and that's why. Moving on. Not a lot of industrial material news. And wow. Wow, there's a lot of healthcare news. Teladoc, TDoc had earnings, right? This was a fun one to trade during COVID, right? This is really fun to trade. Since it gave up its 50, I don't want to even touch it, but look at the nice little balance off of the daily bottom, 4-hour bottom. Rally maybe to 68, possibly 70. The safe move is long above 70, right? For a move to 72, 74. Shorting any rallies to the 21 on the daily, which there might be a quick little pop here, but I don't think it recovers. It's got a lot of overhead resistance. It's really heavy. Right. Just call it that. Could be forming a little cup and handle. There may be a move from 65 to 70. Pretty unhindered move from 65 to 70. And then make a decision at 70 if it's going to continue on and get back into this level of support, or if it's going to continue to fade. Regardless, Teladoc earnings at 7-cent loss versus a 6-cent loss, which is good. Q4 revenues up 45%. Average revenue per U.S. paid member increased $2.50. Q4 adjusted gross margin was 68.4% versus 67, and they see a Q1 EPS loss at 60 to 50 cents versus 51 cents. Let's see the Q revenue at 565 versus 588. So they did lose. Now here's the other side we have to look at. This could be a rally back testing the 4-hour bottom for a larger move to the downside, right? So again, if we can't get back up above the 4-hour cloud and use it as support, then we have to look at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 downside move. Okay. So I would just give it a little bit to shake out. EXAS, Exact Sciences, $1.28 loss versus $1.04. Revenues $473 versus $449. They guide their forward-looking revenues at $1.9 billion versus 1.9, or $2 billion versus 1.98. For our bottom, for our mid, for our top. Look for a rally from 74 to 77 and then 80 incoming. This should get a little bounce. However, if it breaks below 72.91, 70, and then 69. Hims and Hers. Y'all remember this company, Hims? Q4 EPS loss at 15 cents versus 7 cents. That's a lot for a penny stock, right? Fake pop, bear bull flag breakout. I hate penny stocks. If it can rally above 540, it can hit $6.18, $7 pretty quickly. This could be a nice little double bottom consolidation for the last couple of weeks. Good positive earnings. They're saying that their subscription members grew, which is all you need to see in these subscription services. Okay. Kodiak Sciences. Woo! Check it, yo. Shares are down 60%. Sorry. How would you like to be an owner in this sucker? After saying its experimental drug failed to meet the primary goal of mid to late stage study testing in wet age-related macular degeneration patients, the drug did not meet the main goal of showing non-inferior visual acuity gains compared to Regeneron pharmaceuticals. They just got clapped. This could go to zero. Like really could go to zero today. From 50 to 0. There's nothing stopping it. I don't even know what to do with this. I mean, 50 to 14. I think that's the worst drop I've ever seen in anything. the absolute worst drop I've ever seen. Let me just throw this out there at the group. All right. U.S. MBA mortgage applications, actual negative 13% versus a 5%. Ooh, clapping. All right. Moving on. So in healthcare, you know who we haven't heard from lately? Right? Yep, you guessed it. Moderna. I don't know. I checked. I don't have 2 streams going and I just got the one. I don't know if I pissed a bunch of people off yesterday. It's Woo Wednesday. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I'm not too concerned about it. I'm glad you were here. I was going to have a rough day if you didn't show up. I was literally like, where's Johnny? I hope he shows. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I think I need to start giving out specific plays, to be honest with you. I think I have to be like, here's your Apple play with the strike, right? I think I have to start spoon feeding. No, not spoon feeding, but you know what I mean. Just I need to, I guess, give more. I'm not giving enough. I digress. In financials, the only thing I see is ICE. I didn't realize that this was a blockchain company at all. I didn't realize that this was. Anyway, ICE announced that it's making a strategic investment in T0, a leader in blockchain innovation and liquidity for digital assets. Note, Overstock is an original investor in T0, right? Or OSTK. All right, that's not Overstock. It is Overstock. Look at that sucker. Overstock's at 40. Sheesh, I remember I couldn't even afford this. It's breaking down though. Currently below 38.50. It comes from back test 36. Look at this sucker right here. Oh my goodness. This is a death. So it fell out of the bottom of the 4-hour and the weekly and the daily. It rallied up, retested the 21. Typically, at this point, it will either continue to fade, right? Or it'll reverse. But looking at it, this is the H-shaped pattern of death. Overstock. I'd buy some 35 puts on it. I think we make a new low. Overstock is death. Whew. Yeah, broadening pattern, all the negative signs. Okay. All right. Geez, that's a ton. In energy, Transocean rig, right? Q4 revenues at 671 million versus 652. Contract drilling revenues for 3 months ended at the end of last year decreased sequentially by 5 million to 621. After consideration of net unfavorable item in Q4, adjusted net loss was 126 million. 19 cent per share diluted contract backlog, 6.5 billion. Yeah, sorry. So it's kind of rare to see something in the crude sector. I don't know why I'm not playing that move. 13,950 to 14,028. That's a huge move on the NQ. All right. Anyway, it's rare to see something especially in the crude sector, having such a fall off. Right? It fell down. It broke its 50. It's back testing the weekly mid for our bottom for another move back down to the daily. Okay. All right. That's it for energy. Anything? Oh, Fang. Remember? They had earnings yesterday, Diamondback Energy, EPS at 363 versus 337. Their adjusted EBI TDA at 1.19 billion versus 475 million. That's huge adjusted revenue. Huge. Analyzed realized price of crude equivalent to 56 0.47 versus 27.1 versus 56. I mean, this is good news for them. Okay, if it can get back above 130, 131, I think we see a move back to 135, 137. I think we see, like, that's a pretty, I mean, do you see what I see? Look at this channel, right? Look at the channel. Above 130, we hit 137. Pretty easy play there. All right. In consumer news, lots of consumer news, so we're going to go through most of these, okay? Esports entertainment, Gamble, GMBL. 2Q adjusted EBITDA at a $6.8 million loss versus $3.38 million loss. How low can it go? This is another one that might go to zero today. I'm not even joking, dude. Monthly bottom at 170. Down and up and down again. Short this one to death. Caesar or Lowe's had earnings. Q4 EPS at 178 versus 171. Q4 revenues 21.34 billion versus 20 billion. Reports consolidated comparable sales up 5% and U.S. comparable sales up 5.1. Said comparable sales will likely be close to flat in 2022 versus a 0.7% increase. Guides yearly EPS at 13.10 to 13.6 earnings per share, up from prior 12.25 to 13, and versus the estimated 20 or 12.93. So they had decent earnings, they have decent revenue, and they provided decent guidance. So what we're looking to have happen here, right, off of this bottom, if we can overtake the 4-hour mid, right, 223.50, above 223.50, monthly top 227. The safe plays, you wait till it gets back above 228 for some moves back up to 240, right? It's trying to regain its 200, right? It's trying to say, nope, we're not an H-shaped pattern. We're going to do an inverse head and shoulders, okay? Decent bounce. Like I said, it's got some overhead resistance. You could go 4-hour mid to 4-hour top. You could do 224 or 223 to 230, right? NQES move is just gorgeous. Inverse head and shoulders. Man, why aren't I playing it? Why am I not playing it? Okay. And then did I do Caesars already? Caesars. Look at that move. Ugh, gorgeous. 75 to 80. All right. Is it going to retest its 50-day? Is it going to recover it? All right, so we're looking for, I'd go long above 81.50 for a move to 85. Caesars, fourth quarter EPS at a $2.03 loss versus 92-cent loss. Revenues 2.6 billion versus 2.959. Expects to continue to reduce debt in 2022 through receipt of asset sale proceedings and significant FCF. I don't know what FCF is, but it can cause the stock to jump $5 on a $2 loss. Let's look at it like a rally to the 21 and then short the rally. We'll have to see if it starts breaking. If it breaks down below 78, it's got daily bottom incoming. Okay. Looking for that wedge breakout. All right. In world news, New Zealand bond yields jump after RBNZ hikes rates and projects even more aggressive tightening cycle than previously seen. RBNZ raises interest rates for the third time, signals higher peaks. Okay. They will, we can learn from that. Okay. We've got a bunch of virtual conferences today. A massive amount of earnings after the close. You'll see that. Massive amount of earnings after the close. TJ Maxx has earnings before the bill or before the open. Overstock has earnings before the open. Dub. Tap does. Tap's a fun one. Lowe's has earnings before the bill. But look at all of these after the close. There's a ton. We don't trade any of these except for maybe Skills has earnings. That should be fun to watch. See if it can go to 0. Not seeing anything that we typically trade. So it looks like a bunch of small caps. IRTC might be a fun one to check in on. Hertz would definitely be a fun one to check in on. Fubu would be another one. eBay. Booking. Pay attention to that. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing really super interesting. IRTC. Ooh, it gave up its 50-day. Death spiral. That's a clean bounce. All right, so IRTC has earnings today. If they have negative earnings, I think this can go to 90. Like, below 105. 86. Depending on its earnings today, this could fall down to 90, 85, 90 very easily. So keep an eye on IRTC. IRTC for death roll. Oh, sorry, I got these lights that are drying my eyes out really bad. Really bad. I feel like my mic is super far away from me today. All right, that's better. Okay. Event calendars today. It says we don't have anything, but I think we do. We've got MBA mortgage application data and then Johnson Redbook sells. Looks like, yep, that's true. We don't really have anything. Tomorrow, though, we have some stuff coming through. We have unemployment. We have crude oil. Remember, oh my gosh, for weeks I was like, we need to keep track of crude oil inventories. Mester's speaking tomorrow. And Waller speaking tomorrow. So Thirsty Thursdays. We'll have to keep an eye on that. All right. U.S. futures are pushing higher. Absolutely. Along with gains in Europe and Asia, investors continue to weigh the implications of limited sanctions against Russia by the U.S. and its allies amid continued tensions around Ukraine. The sanctions announced yesterday by Biden stopped short of sweeping measures, though officials warned they could be scaled up. The Secretary of State canceled plans for a meeting Thursday in Geneva. Foreign Minister Lavrov's, that was the meeting he was going to have. Stock slumped on Monday as all U.S. major indexes finished the day lower by 1%. Of course. I mean, come on, dude. Seriously, Monday we were closed. And the S&P index closes more than 10% down from its record close, confirming correction territory. We could be. This could be the rally. Today, tomorrow, maybe Friday. We'll get into that in a minute. All 11 of the S&P sectors end in negative territory, with consumer discretionary the weakest and utilities down the least. Commodity prices advanced Monday as gold and crude gain as the U.S. prepared a first tranche of sanctions against Russia, which Biden said was due to the beginning of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Oil prices eased back as traders weigh U.S. sanctions in Iran talks. In Asian markets, the Nikkei index fell 461 points. Sorry, Bay, you fell down hard. The Shanghai index rose 32 points, and the Hang Seng gained 140. In Europe, the DAX is up almost 1%, and the FTSE gains about 0.25%. Now, let's check out our futures, because we got some stuff we need to check out. Look at this move. This is masterful, right? However, I don't trust it. I don't trust the move. I know it looks like spaghetti. Let me just make it a little clearer for everybody to read. All right, so this is the ES, right? Let me get rid of my stuff here. This. So we came down and we tested previous lows, right? $42.50. That's a pretty significant level yesterday. So I think we get the move, like any rallies back to this 21. I think I'm going to short as long as we're below the 200 and below the 50. Remember, we're bearish. So any pops could be setting up for a larger leg down. Okay, like this. We rallied down, we popped, larger move down. Is this a 1, 2? Are we in the third leg? Right? This could very easily turn bullish or bearish today. Be popping up into here. So we do have a 382 retracement at 43.55. You know, hold on, I gotta move this around because I keep looking over at this chart thinking it's the ES and it's the NQ, and I don't trade the NQ. It just moves too much for all the stuff that I've got going on. Like I just can't watch it. Right? The ES moves a little bit slower for me, but it's making a gnarly inverse head and shoulders as we speak. Pretty gnarly, pretty gnarly. Ooh, you know what I need to do is I need to create another. Ooh, that's what I'll do today. So I'll create a new layout for this so I can look at both of them at the same time. Remind me, what did I do here? Remind me one of these days next week to stream from my Windows machine so I can show you all my future setup. It's pretty slick, pretty slick. Pretty slick, I must say. All right, that's better. Ooh, NQ's, all right, yes. All right, so let's look at the 4 hour. Okay, we've got a 382, 50% in a 618 retracement from this move here that is invalidated. Why is it invalid? Because we broke down below and we downtrended below the 382. Yes, that's going to be resistance. Yes, it's resistance as you can see, but I think I need to readjust it. Because if we look at this, right off of the skyline, we rallied up to the 21, rejected it, pulled back, rallied up to the 21. Are we going to break through the 21? This is a 4 hour 21, okay? This snow line is going to be a magnet as well as a 50-day, okay? Left shoulder, big old nasty head. Right shoulder, possibly. If that's the case, we got to move. The snow line is 43.73. Okay, that would be about a 40 or 50 point move. And currently we're in an upcycle to go to 43.47. That's what this looks like on this chart here. All right, 43.47 is previous high right here. Hopefully you can see this. Left shoulder, big old nasty head, right shoulder. 2150, like I said, we're going to retest this 200. This is a 30-minute chart. We're using the snow line as a magnet of 43.70. If we can get back above 43.55 and close on a new high, then I think we'll get pretty chunky up to 4,400, right? If we reject this 200-day again, right, we would break trendline support and we would come back down probably lower than we went. Okay, so today's a very important day, especially in the next couple of hours, to see what happens with this 30-minute 200. This is a first retest of it. What's happened before? Rejected. Almost. Oh, no, failure, right? Big old head fake. So it's been a while since we've been above the 200 on the 30 minute. So very, very important day today. Very key levels. I think we could very easily. I'm not comfortable putting a line there. I don't like it. Okay. Look at the support. 50-day rally up. It's gonna be crucial what happens here in the next couple hours. Okay. All right. I spent too much time on ES. All right, let's move on to the NQ. Looking at the NQ on the daily, so very, very, very disappointed in the sucker. Oh my gosh, it's just bull flagging right now, hard. I mean, look at this. Look how hard this is. Right here. All right, chia, son. All right, chia. Let's bring it down. Oh, rejection. 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 What's it doing? There's zone. My zone's off. I gotta fix it. I gotta redo that whole zone. All right. So we rallied up, we back tested. This is a 5 minute, right? We held the 200, right? We got above it, we held it, we held it, we held it, we held it. Like we were bouncing off the 200, the 50 is above the 200, 21's about to cross back over. We got a skyline at 14,066, right? Which is also a deviation level at 14,067, right? Looking at it on the 4 hour, see the difference? Right, we're testing the 21 right now. We got to get above it, retest the 50, right? Let's make sure I can see this. It's really, okay. So it's kind of hard to see this skyline right there. 14,06725 is a level, right? In the 4 hour, we rallied up, we tested the 21, we closed right at the 21. If we reject this, bye-bye birdie, right? If we break above it, right? If we can clear the skyline at, it's a big move, 14,050, right? Then we can go up and retest the 50-day at 14,250-ish, right? I've got to readjust my fib levels because they're off. Oh crap, we made a new low. Whoa. Oh wow. Okay. So yesterday we rallied up to the 4 hour, we pulled back, we rallied up, we're testing, or the 21 day. Now we're retesting the 21. We haven't cleared the 21 day in a while. So there is an inverse head and shoulders here, right? From the daily perspective, we should start uptrending. This is a nice reversal candle here, right? Perfect little doji. Perfect little reversal candle, but as we go down, we can see we don't have structure. We haven't regained the 21 on the 4 hour yet, right? Lower time frames looking pretty decent. Come on, give me my stuff. There we go. Same deal. We're going to retest the 21 on the 30 minute. If we can, or the 200 on the 30 minute. If we can retake the 200 on the 30 minute, then we've got some course correction happening here, right? So far we're bullish, but if we reject this level, say goodbye. All right. I keep pounding. I don't know why I feel like I just keep pounding the table on that. Y'all are adults. Y'all know what's up. All right. The good old Dow. I'm going to go through and redraw my fib levels today. So let me get rid of some of these. The Dow came back. Held its fire line. We're looking for pretty crispy, clean move on the Dow. Heading into this week, rallied up. Held the fire line. We're going to retest at 21 at 3,400. The 50 at 3463. So from Fireline to Skyline, that's the move. However, if we reject this 21, it's going to get super duper ugly. Right? This is a 4-hour chart. There's your trend line. Above it, we get woody. Okay, so what am I saying? I'm saying that today could be bullish, right? It's also decision-making day, right? Today could be bullish and set the tone for the next several days, right? We've respected this trend line so far, right? I'm giving it a little benefit here. Looking for the 2150, 21 crossover, then break the previous highs. I don't know of any good Dow components, but I would think we would hit 33,925 today. There's a trading zone that runs here. Uh, 33,791. Above that, we get bullish. Okay. Moving on to the old Russell, which I think is going to have a bad day today because I think that there needs to be some money flowing out of small caps into some of those other sectors, right? Russell failed its 50-day. It's got a 2150 mashup on the 30-minute, down and up. Next move, if it breaks this skyline at 1991, we backtest this longer-term wedge trend line for a move back down to the bottom of the skyline. Okay, contrarian, if we start moving, right, that would require the 21 to break above the 50 and the 50 to start curling up, right? There's overhead resistance and the 200-day coming in. Looking at this on the 4-hour, right? We fell out, rejected the 21, fell back down, rejected the 21. We're trying to maintain this skyline. If we fail the skyline, we come back down and test previous lows and potentially make a new low. Okay, this is very bearish, but it's consolidating, trying to make its move up. Looking at it from the daily, same deal, right? We're nowhere near testing the 21 on the daily. So down day, up day, could be fun. All right, last but not least, looking at gold. Gold's kind of peaked, right? This is definitely a reversal candle on our daily. So rally, consolidation, what are we going to do? What are we doing, right? Gold's just out here being confused, right? What do I need to do, coach? I'm just going to consolidate for the next couple of days. Could form a nice little bull flag. Everything's stacked positive. Everything looks good on gold. It just doesn't have any direction. It's like, what do I do? What do I do? It doesn't know what to do. Okay. This doji right here is the new trading zone. Right there. So zone trading. 1889. 1920, 1889, 1920. I think those are valuable gold coins as well. The 1920. There it is. As long as it's holding the 21 on the 4-hour. Like I said, it doesn't know what to do. Come on, sucker. Ooh. So it failed its 200 on the 30-minute. We have a 21 200 cross down. but the 50 is starting to angle up. So we might get a little bit of a swoosh to help us come back up and continue to be range bound. Okay. If we can't retake the 50-day and we start to pull back, then we're negative, right? We're bearish. Let's see how we dipped below it here, right? We haven't retested the 200 though. This is kind of sketchy. Gold could fall today. All right. And then finally, crude. Crude's like, what do I do? Just super confused. What do I need to be doing here? I'm just going to consolidate, I guess, looking at it from a daily perspective. It's like, I don't know what to do. Somebody give me direction. Let me redo my fibs on gold or on crude as well. Oh, this is invalid. Invalid. Bet you there's another trading zone. Did you see how I did that? I went from doji to doji because trading zones are typically the same size, right? So I could make a copy of this one, right? And move it up to what would be the demand zone, right? See how it's the same size as that doji? Y'all don't know about them secret hacks, huh? I got all the hacks. It's right there. All right. Crude just, I think we just chop, really. Fire line, snow line, then we snow line to snow line, right? I think we just chop for the next several days. Probably out until middle of March. Okay. All right. And then finally, ZB bonds are falling, which is what we want to see happen for a rising ES. And then the yen is finally downturned again, right? There for a minute it was having some time, it was having a day with it, having some time, having some days, doing some things. If we continue to reject the 21, we can continue to make lower lows. I mean, it barely made a lower low. I mean, barely, by like 1/10%. All right. That big old candle, where'd that come from? All right, let me check in on a couple things and then we'll get the request taken care of. I want to look at, remember, our bread and butters. All right, here's our bread and butters. Bring these down to... So everything pretty much gapped up overnight, but it looks like Apple's given up its gains, AMD's given up its gains, Google's given up its gains. Google's still below the 200, so a little sketchy on that. Nvidia's probably got the cleanest setup that I like so far from just from a setup perspective, right? It's held its 200 on the 15, right? Looking for a 50-200 cross down. SPX closed on lows. QQQ could be chop zone. The Spittity Spy, I don't know what's going on with it. And Tesla has had issues with its 200-day, quite a few. The 21 rejected the 200, right? So Tesla's really trying to get that move. If this wick right here is a valid wick, then it just filled the gap. So everything that gapped up has gap filled already. So we could get some ripping at open. Again, the 200 is very, very important. Rejection, pullback. Okay, I don't know. So SPY is chilling at its snow line. If it can get above the snow line, then it moves to the next one. SPX gave it up. QQQ, see how it went from skyline to skyline, right? That's a pretty easy to read move. All right, let me go wake up the knuckleheads. Ooh, included support for placing option to order within the price ladder widget. Added support for hotkeys. Optimize the input range of the MACD indicator of the chart widget. Nice. Let me get that installed. All right, I'll be back in 1 second. Let's see. I've got this. Oh, I don't have anything set up yet. Dang it. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to go check on my chicken heads. Let's do a quick, just a real quick 5-minute break. I got to grab some water. Let me do this. Abby Roku, Draftkings. Abby Roku, DKNG. What's going on with Abby here? So divergence is played out. We got Roku. Roku looks super bullish to me. Draftkings, I like it. On the 1 minute. Let's check it out on the 5. Oh yeah, Draftkings. Let's go, baby. Awesome. I didn't realize it was a $20 stock. These things used to trade at 50. All right. Fine. I'll be right back. Check. I'm back. Morning, Johnny. Morning, Andrea. Morning, watchlist. How is everyone doing? I did an analysis earlier on my top stocks. My big head out of the way. Y'all should be able to see that. You want to screenshot that. I'll leave that up for another couple seconds. If you want to screenshot that, that's kind of what I'm looking at for today. Okay. All right. Wait, what did I just do? All right. AbiVi, let's get into it, shall we? All right, so AbiVi, a nice uptrending stock, flow index trading with price action the whole time. Divergences have played out pretty much. Flow index has pulled back the last little bit. We've got a regular block at 146.30, dark pool at 145.56. I'm just gonna use the last 3 days on these now. There we go. Another cluster at 145. So 145 support. If we start breaking our trend line, our upward trend line that we got going on here, we can look at 145, 144, and then possibly back down to 142.59 is the last regular block that came in the 22nd at the bell. Right? I don't think that's been filled yet. So it's just sitting here, 222 at 942. So here, there's a cluster of regular blocks down here that have not been filled yet. So I've learned that when these print and they don't have price interact with them, that they'll act as a magnet. When did this dark pool come in? This came in at 8:01 on the 22nd. And where do we open? I think this dark pool was a bunch of buy orders, right? Because Flow Index was buying at the time. We rallied up. We filled some block orders here, a little profit, right? Pull back, filled support, rallied up, and fulfilled this regular block that came in right at the close. It came in after the close. Ooh. Wait a minute. Yeah, so this came in at the close. So a bunch of sell orders, profit taking, right? We've got some buy orders sitting down here. More than likely, you look for a magnet down. As long as the flow indexes continue to point down, look for stair stepping in ways on your way back down to 142.59. Okay. If the flow index bounces and starts pulling price action back up, just know that there's some orders sitting down here that want to get filled. Okay. Didn't get filled yet. They want to get filled. Okay. That's AbiVi. Next up is Roku. Roku is making a move. Okay. Big old move yesterday. Divergence played out. Flow index is trading with price action now. Okay. Giant gap up, created a new support level that it broke at the close, right? But this is a hammer. So hammer at the close on Roku means that it could have an up day. Kind of a little bit of a wedge forming there. We have regular block that came in and got filled. Immediately gapped up. We have a dark pool that looks like it was filled as well. So it looks like two big buy orders caused a little gap up. Couldn't break into a new high, rejected it, pulled back. 120, 128.19. The flow index is... This is a little bit of bullish divergence, but it's so new I can't really in good conscience say, hey, it's good. Let's check it out on... Let's do an overnight. Everything gapped up. Roku sold off, fought its way back up. Look at this rally here. So we get a better idea of what Roku's doing. So bull flagging in the 4-hour bottom, right at the 13 EMA. Slingshot squeeze getting ready to release. High compression squeeze is forming on our lower end time frames. So Roku, if it can get back, look for a move up, back, up for our mid. Be careful at the top of this daily, this 21. If it rejects this, then we get a larger move down. So Roku, really interesting moves setting up for today. So I'm looking for something like this to possibly happen. Right? That'd be a pretty decent move, right? Up to 140. Contrarian, if we reject, let's just say we fire down, right? We've got some pretty easy, pretty decent looking look there on Roku, right? I like this slingshot potential. Okay. It has potential to do great things today. The level would be 126. 125.50. 125.50, pull back, test the 4-hour top for confirmation of support, and then it gets that larger move. So Roku should be a fun one to watch today. Okay. Flow index is making a series of higher highs and higher lows. A bunch of profit taking took place, right? Profit taking for continuation on. Okay. Next up on our list is Draftkings. Look at this bullish divergence, right? Regular dark pool support, 1730, right? Regular 1793. Do a cluster at 1884. So basically, if you want to play Draftkings, you wait for the break of 19, and you trade 19 up to 20, and then 20 to 21. Flow index making nice highs and lows, right? Divergences have played out, so now it's just dragging price with it. Okay. All right, Draftkings, nice move overnight. Again, same deal, right? Very similar pattern to Roku, ready and fires, crossing up and over, getting ready to fire off. I wish I would have known. I should have paid attention to this earlier at 16. Could have been up a couple $100. So this is the first retest of really the 13 EMA, right? We're looking for a rally to the 21, which is also a $20 level. Up, back test this daily bottom for support, right? Larger move up to at least the 4-hour mid, 34 EMA, right? So I think that that's a pretty valid move. Back test, when I say break a 19, yeah, break a 19. We break 19, right? We back test, move up, and we draw it out for you. So back test up. We're going to have a little bit of resistance to the 21. Possible move up to there. Right? I like the move there. Contrarian, let's just say everything dies. We come down, we back test the 4-hour bottom through the daily bottom to the monthly, right? And then make that larger move down. Okay. We're in the monthly cloud. So if we break through that monthly cloud, we get difecta mode and it gets real nasty. Okay. All right. That's Draftkings. And then finally, what else do we want to look at? Airbnb. Okay. Airbnb is doing its thing. I want to look at AMD, Apple, which I think is going to fail. Nvidia, or Google, sorry. Nvidia, and then Tesla. All right. AMD, my favorite stock to trade lately, right? I don't like this bearish divergence that we got going on here, right? So AMD, look at that. Talk about range bound, 115, 120, 110, 115. So there, hopefully you can see it. All right, we break 115, we retest 110. Flow index is pointed down, lots of bearish divergence. You would say, oh no, but look at the move. See how the flow index is trading with price, right? Quick little pop, pulling price down with it. Flow index made a new low, okay? On AMD, the way I'm looking at this is pretty simple, okay? We have regular blocks at 114.50 to 115.20. There's a little zone right there, okay? If we break down below that, then we retest this downward trend line. I want to say it's from there. Almost from there. Yeah. Up, back, up, back. We have dark pulls at 115.40, 115.65 at 116. We could move back up, right? AMD is a little tougher looking than I thought. Let's see this. All right, so it overtook its 5,200 on our intraday, right? Bounced off its 200. It's at the daily mid for our mid support, right? High compression slingshot squeezes are getting ready to release. Ready and Fire is getting ready to release. Don't know what this wick is valid or if it's just bad data, but I would say it looks like we're trying to break that wedge, right? Above 1850, I think we hit 120 or 118.50, we hit 122, right? That would complete the move for our bottom, mid, top. However, reject this trend line, we back test. So below 116, 112 incoming. If we break this 200, it gets real nasty for AMD. But I think we get a pretty decent move up today, right? The worst thing that could happen is we just sit here and chop between 116 and 118. Okay. All right, and then Apple. Bearish divergence is real. People don't believe that this is a real thing. And look at what it's done since it's diverged, right? We had divergence here. That played out, right? We pulled back. We had divergence here. Rallied up, played out, right? Since then, we've just been pulling price action down with us. Rally up, support, dark pull support. We could be setting up a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reversal on Apple. 164.32. Look at this gap over here. I didn't even see this. 160, 162. There's a downside gap that needs to be filled. I think that's what needs to happen. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Look at that sucker. Yeah, so I'm gonna look at 160 puts, right? 164.32 is my support level. If we break down below that, 162.75, 162, 160. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corrective pattern. I don't think it likes this gap being open out here. Okay. Contrarian, this is a reversal candle. So right off of dark pull support, we rip through regular block trades and dark pulls at 165. We go long above 165.40 for a move back up to 167, right? I think that's a pretty decent move. We fail this level. We come back and back test, look for a downside gap fill. Okay. All right. Next up is, and then I got to run possibly Google. All right, so Google, we got. All right, so divergences played out. We've got some dark pulls at 250.96 and 26.07. We're starting to get a little bit of a corrective pattern on the flow index. Right, it made a high, it made a higher low, it made a higher high, make a higher low, higher high, higher low. Same little hammer candle that we have on Apple, except for the flow index is above it and pulling price action up with it right off a dark pull support. So 2600, 2607. I think we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Google. I think we get a move to 2672. Let's call that 2650. All right, 2650. Can't see these numbers. 2680. I gotta figure out how to change that so I can see what's going on. 2680. 2700 is going to be the magnet, right? 2700 magnet. Then 2750. 2700, 2750. 2700, 2750 for Google. Contrarian, we break down. We take out the low at 20. I can't even really look at a downside move. I think we're reversing here. Let's say we reject 2607, break below 2596. We retest 2563. Yeah, 2567, below that 2540, 2480. This is a big old reversal candle for Google. I'm going to keep an eye on that, okay? And then Nvidia, and then we'll do Tesla, and I'm out of here. Okay. Nvidia, bearish divergence, right? 27 or 23, 237, geez. 237, 236. Could possibly be support at 20 or 20, geez, 233. Just call that 234, 236, 237. There's a wedge here. Got overhead resistance there. A little bit of a channel down, so a little bit of a wedge down, but we've got bearish divergence. Below 20 or below 230, we fill this gap. There's a little gap right there. I didn't even notice it. We'll fill this gap to 228. Maybe we get a reversal there, but there's a trading zone from 238, right, all the way down to 215, taking profit at 220. Yeah, I think that we're going to downside gap fill today, or maybe later this week, but this is bearish, right? The flow index, they're selling. Programs are selling. They're not buying. Tesla, prime example, gap filling, right? So Tesla filled the gaps yesterday right off of dark pool support at 802, 807, 821, 833.56. This came in at 931 on the 22nd. Right? Bunch of ooh. It's also forming that little seahorse pattern that's bearish in my opinion. So, however, the flow index is starting to curl around. If the flow index makes a new low, I think Tesla comes down and 795. So downside move, I would have the 800 puts loaded. I'd also look at the 850, 860, 880 to the upside. Maybe this is forming a head and shoulders, or this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move. Just keep an eye on the flow index. It's kind of curling over, so I'm thinking Tesla's going to be a little bit more bullish than we think. All right, that's it. I got to run. Thanks for joining me. I'm here every morning, Monday through Friday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm Dark Pool Algo. Have a great day. I got to go chart some stuff. AMD. Oh, is AMD dead? What happened? What's going on with AMD? It's trying. It's really, really trying to get above this overhead resistance. I think it launches, to be honest with you. AMD is probably, I'm going to 120. What did I say on AMD? I had 116 is a 4 mid support to 122. Right? 122 is a 4-hour top. If AMD does that, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be a 1. Oh, we get the W. We get the Wu-Tang reversal on AMD. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 122, 124s. Above that, 128s. Maybe next week, the 128s. Yeah, I'm looking at the 120, 125s. Yeah, I think we hit 122 today. Above 122, it just gets super chunky, juicy slingshot squeeze. All right, I got to run. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. Stay safe. Stay